Going to take a look at this ladder standoff that I just bought recently. It's made by Acro Building Systems, ACRO. It is their number 11710. It is attached to a 14-foot single fiberglass ladder. It's not an extension type, just a one single rail. And it's a type 1A 300-pound rating. Now I do have a standoff that is similar to this that I'll show you, but I'm going to be doing a roof on my house, and I wanted to buy an extra one of these standoffs as I don't want any ladders leaning up against the eaves troughs. Now this was purchased through Home Depot. I had it shipped to the store. It comes with this chain attached that you wrap around the rungs to chain it and keep it from moving, like you see here. So it would keep it from coming forward. You would chain it to that rail that is back there. And the other unit that I have that I'm going to show you had this same type of setup. I never did like it, and I never used it. I ended up taking the chain off and using a rubber, heavy-duty rubber bungee straps, and that's what I'll be doing with this. So this is what I've been using. They are a 15-inch heavy-duty bungee strap. Nothing more than something like that. And I just crimp the ends down here on the bungee and just leave these open. So in this particular case, I'll come from underneath. Now let's take a look at this. This thing does not move. I mean, it's rigid. Where that chain, you can't get it to this. And I have two on there. Even if one were to break, you still have the other one that's holding. And this is, okay, there we go. It just seated down at the bottom there. But now that's nice. That's not going anywhere. So now when this thing is up on the roof, leaning up against your roof, the weight's going to be pushing like this. Pushing down. So all your weight's going to be up against there, and those bungees are keeping it from falling forward. Whereas, like I said, that chain, you can't get this tight. Plus you've got the safety factor of two anchor points instead of just the one with the chain. Now here it is with the chain anchored. Now, is that a bad thing? Probably not. I just wanted it much tighter than that. I wanted it to be really snug. And again, two bungees offers, if something comes loose, you still got the other one to take care of it. Another thing you can do is this is adjustable the distance away like this. So that's what that chain is for, to keep it so it doesn't go past its maximum travel. And then you just use these large thumb screws, thumb bolts, whatever, here to tighten both sides. There's approximately 7 3/4 inches of travel from this position all the way down to all the way open. There's a difference of 7 3/4 inches. So what they've done here is simply welded a nut onto this outer tube that this inner tube slides on, and this just jams into it to keep that from moving. Now here's an issue that is not quite as bad as the other unit I have, which again I'll show you after I show you this, is if you go all the way down to where it hits that tube on the other side, you've got here, I don't know, less than 1/4 inch, maybe 3/16, maybe 1/4 inch at the most. Same thing with both sides. Okay, I don't like that at all. Even though you have it pushed back with those bungee cords, there's something I did to the other one that I will be doing to this, but I just wanted to show you. And the other one is even worse. Now this ladder is 18 7/8 from outside to outside. The overall width is 18 7/8 of this ladder, just in case anybody wants to double check theirs. Now here's that other unit that I've laid on top of the new Acro unit that I just bought. I've had this, the one that's black now, I've had that thing for many, many years, since the 80s. I don't know who the manufacturer is. There's no tags on it, and I don't even recall what manufacturer it was. But you can see some of the differences. If we look here, now I did call Acro, spoke to a gentleman the other day, and because I asked him that this looked a little different, he said, well, he said that they bought out a company. So when you see this thing looks so damn much the same, you got to almost say that it's probably the company they bought out. Can't say for sure. But if you look at some of the things, you had the brace here. It's got more of an angle here. It's got that brace a little further back. Here we see an angle at this junction. Here we don't have that, and this piece we just have a bar that goes across. Here's a piece of tubing. This is just flat stock. Again, here a brace here, and a piece of angle, and here we have it further away and longer. And when we look at the actual piece that goes into the rung, this is more, if you see it, it's more of a tubing. I don't know that they've pressed down, flattened, where this is actually welded to the tubing here. A piece of angle stock, or a piece of bar stock they angled, put a bent it, and then welded it, where this is all part of the tubing that they've crimped and formed. Now there's a reason for these bolts here, and I showed you earlier about this. I'm going to be putting these bolts on this unit also, but when I put this on the ladder you'll see why. Now to adjust this doesn't use a jam. You know, you don't jam anything up against the tubing. It actually has through holes, and they're formed that way. And you just put a 1/4 inch bolt in there like that, and then I just put a wing nut on the other side. Here you have approximately 8 1/2 inches of travel from here to here. The adjustability is 8 1/2 inches. This is the furthest out that it can go. If you move it in, 8 1/2 inches. And I've got to say, I actually like this better. I think this is a better way of doing it. Now the part that goes up against either your house, siding, or roof, this is just some plastic cover, like a plastic piece. So this is a foam, spongy foam. So the new one is, in my opinion, got a cheaper cover, but it might hold up, I don't know. Okay, to check the tubing wall thickness, I use these Mitsutoya ball anvil mics, and I got 63 thousandths and 61, so that could be a matter of paint and whatnot. So say right around 60 thousandths tube diameter thickness on both of those. So I'm going to assume that everything is pretty much about the same on both of those as far as the tubing that they've used, the wall thicknesses. Now I'm going to show you why I have these bolts put on here like that. When it's within, when these bolts are outside, it prevents it from sliding any further than that travel. So let me show you. If you push this all the way over, you literally see this will fall off. But more than about a quarter inch or plus 5/16, it falls right off. So if it were to slide to hit over here to the inside, you're off over here, and likewise here. So even though I'm using the bungee cords, which I have on here, the bungee straps, even though I'm using those, I wanted complete safety, and I wanted to ensure that, you know, so that's why I put these on. And that's what I'll be doing to this new unit too, just like this, just to maintain that it doesn't slide off. Okay, we're going to take this and put it up on the roof, and I'll show you how it is. In case you're wondering why those black marks are by that wrong, that just lets me know that when I use this ladder, that's where the standoff goes. So that's the only reason for that. Okay, so there it is up on the roof. I do want to mention that makes your ladder very heavy on the one end. So what I do is I'll take the feet on the bottom where the feet have like the little notched grooves, stick that into the ground. I'll make sure I'm away from the house and any windows, as you see here. Then I'll walk it up and hold it. So if I did slip, when it falls, it's not hitting anything. Then once I get up to a certain way, then I just walk around to the front side here that you'll see. Then I hold it, bring it up, and set it down on the roof. And then you can always kick the ladder out a little bit to get any adjustment to get it away from the, you know, to keep it the distance you want. Now all I've got to do is move this back and forth, and I can move that closer or further away from the roof. So as you can see, this keeps the eaves trough away from the ladder. The ladder can safely rest against the roof and not touch the eaves trough. Okay, so here we have the ladder completely away from my vinyl gutters, and I kicked it in a little bit more to get this ladder closer to the roof line. And here you see the standoff on the shingles. Here's the bungees that I use to hold this. I'm very confident with these. I like these much better. This standoff can be used in a corner of a building or on the flat wall of a building. That would be into a corner of a building. and obviously flat up against the wall.